Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Zeelicious Etiquette series. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some etiquette tips for when you are invited on a date for the very first time. Now, the date I'm talking about here is a date where you have to go to a restaurant with a guy or a girl, but this video is actually mostly for the ladies and not for the guys, but I'm sure that the guys can actually pick out a thing or two from what I'm sharing here, because some things actually relate to the guys as well. Now, I'm making this video to honor my friend's request. She asked me to just share some tips for when a guy invites you out on a date for the very first time. What must you do? What must you not do? You all would agree with me that making the first impression is actually very, very important. Like, as much as some of us try to water first impressions down, they truly, truly matter, and they go a long way in determining whether a relationship with a person would continue or not. Or it just goes a long way to just showing what dimension or what structure the relationship will take. And by relationship, I don't necessarily mean a relationship that ends in an intimate relationship. I'm also talking about a business relationship and just maybe just a cordial, friendly relationship with a person. So anyways, with all of that being said, I'm just going to go right into the tips for when you are invited for a dinner date for the very first time. What must you do? Let's get right into the video, shall we? So first of all, before we go right into the video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and then share this video with your friends and family if you learned a thing or two, so that they too can learn something new as well. And then of course, like this video if you liked what you watched. And please guys, join our membership support group. On that group, you can just support the production of our videos. If you like watching our videos, if our videos have helped you in one way or another, your support will go a very long way, and you can just support with a tiny little stipend every month. So just click the link in the description box down below if you just want to support us. Like I said earlier, your support will go a long way in helping us continue to produce very quality and valuable videos for you all. Okay, all right, let's just get right into the video for today. So the very first etiquette tip on this list would be to keep to the schedule. Remember that you're trying to make a really beautiful first impression, and first impression actually matters. So when you both have actually set a time or a schedule to meet up, ensure that you keep to the schedule. It's better for you to arrive on time, but it's not okay to come there late. But if peradventure you cannot control the time that you get there and you know that you might be there a little late, it's very advisable or very important that you reach out either via call or via text and give a good reason why you may not be able to make it at the time that was already scheduled. It's very, very important to make a very good first impression. And then if it's the guy who is not keeping to the schedule and maybe he hasn't reached out to you to give you a reason why he is late, what you can do is, if you arrive at the restaurant before him, you can just order a drink and then just chill. And then if after the first 15 minutes of getting there you haven't heard from him, just out of courtesy, pick up your phone and give him a call. And then depending on how the conversation goes, you can decide whether or not you are going to stay for that dinner or you're not going to stay for the dinner. Because if he's not going to respect your own time as well, then I don't see any reason why you should even continue in the relationship to begin with. Does that make any sense? So if you're coming there late, make sure you reach out. If he's the one that's late and he hasn't reached out, just order a drink or something, start drinking, and after 15 minutes, reach out if he hasn't reached out, and then you can now decide what you will do depending on how the conversation goes. Does that make sense? So it's important that you both respect each other's time as much as possible. Okay? The second etiquette tip on my list would be, do not bring your friends and family along with you for this date. Now, when a guy invites you out on a date, ladies, it is certainly to get to know you a lot better. When you bring third, fourth, fifth, sixth parties into the mix, it waters down on the whole getting to know each other vibe, and then it makes the environment and the scenario very weird. And then it's going to be very impossible for you both to have a conversation or get to know yourselves with all the private information that you'll be given. So, and then of course, I also think that it's very rude for you to bring a family member or a friend when someone has asked you out on a date. I think it's the height of disrespect. So if it's a date where you both are just going to talk and have a good time, please do not bring a third party into the mix. Keep your friends out of the way and just go there by yourself without anyone. The third etiquette tip on this list would be, do not make him offer to pick you up and drop you off at your house. Now, let him be the one to offer that. Do not insist that he picks you up and drops you off. Remember that you're supposed to be a high value woman. You're supposed to be an elegant woman who has a sense of class, a sense of purpose, a sense of value. So insisting that a man comes and picks you up and drops you off is not really an elegant thing to do. Let him be the one to suggest or offer. And then if he doesn't suggest or offer it, it's okay if you decide to catch your own ride to the restaurant. And then, of course, if you don't have your own car and you're not driving yourself, and maybe you have to take an Uber or a Taxify or a taxi or whatever you have to go there with, ensure that you do not make him pay for your transportation. Yes, I said it. Remember, you're trying to make a very good impression. This is in no way trying to say that, oh, you can take care of yourself, or you are this, or what, or you're trying to prove or form something that you're not. I think that it's just the elegant thing to do when you can show up for yourself and pay for your own transportation without having to bother or disturb the guy with it. And if you don't have money for your own transportation, you can of course respectfully decline the date invitation and say, oh, you're not going to be able to make it on this day, and then wait until you know you have enough money to go on the date. Now, this is assuming that you and the guy are not like on any friendly terms whatsoever. So maybe you guys probably met maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you've been talking, and then you want to meet each other again for the very first time again. And then this is like a situation where it's not a friendly, like he's not, you guys are not friendly. But in a situation where you guys are already friendly, and you guys already have like an existing relationship, but this is your first date, you can now say, okay, please come and pick me up and hear what he has to say. But in a non-friendly situation, please do not ask him to come pick you up. Let him offer. If he's a gentleman, he will offer to pick you up or have a car, come pick you up and drop you off when you are done. But if he's not, and again, it's up to you to decide what kind of man that you want in your life, okay? The next etiquette tip on my list would be, do not overdress. Sometimes we believe or we think that doing the most is actually like the right thing to do when it comes to dressing or fashion and stuff like that. But I tell you, when it comes to fashion, makeup and stuff like that, with guys, as long as guys are in the picture, less is always more. So do not overdress. Don't try to overly impress with your outfit or your makeup. Be very decent with whatever it is you're wearing. Be yourself. Show your personality through your outfit, because there's really no need to hide who you are. But at the same time, don't overly do it. Tone the makeup down, tone the outfit down, just tone everything down, but still dress to look confident, still dress to look elegant, and still dress to look very beautiful. And please, easy on the makeup, okay? Don't do a lot of makeup. I'm saying this from experience. The next etiquette tip on my list would be, please and please and please, ladies, do not be a glutton. When it comes to ordering from the menu, please do not order things that you cannot actually eat. Don't say, oh, I've seen free food, because hey, he's going to pay for it anyways. So don't say, oh, it's free food time, I'm going to order everything, and then no, please. Keep your whatever it is that you're ordering to the barest minimum, and just order things that you know you can actually finish and get satisfied with. Drop your gluttony to the side at the entrance of the door before you walk in. And please, don't order takeaway. Don't order takeaway on the very first date. It's absolutely wrong. Don't order any takeaway for your friend. Don't order any takeaway for your family. Don't order any takeaway for yourself. Just eat, have a good time, eat, drink, and go. Please, again, I'm saying this, don't order takeaway. It just sends the wrong impression. You have food in your house. Go home and eat. don't order takeaway at the restaurant. I think I'm being a little bit harsh. Let me calm down. Don't order takeaway from the restaurant. I'm talking from experience, okay? But then if peradventure the food that you have ordered is quite a lot when it eventually came to you and you know that you can't finish it, it's okay to just ask that it's packed up for you to go. That shows that you're not a wasteful person and you can just take the food back with you and eat it there. That's the only scenario or the only occasion where you should actually take a takeaway out of the restaurant. Apart from that, please do not order takeaway. Okay? Thank you. The next etiquette tip on my list would be, do not assume that you guys are already dating or in a relationship. Just go there with an open mind. He's the one who invited you, right? So just let him do most of the talking. Allow him to just air his views on why he has called you there. Allow him to do most of the talking. Allow him to ask most of the questions. And then it's also a responsibility for you as well to go there to determine whether or not you actually want to have a relationship with this person. So you have to go there as an observer, someone who's trying to learn, because I always say to people that on the very first date with a guy, you actually can tell whether or not you guys can go into a relationship. Whether or not the relationship works out in the future is not the point here, but you can actually tell if you guys vibrate on the same level, have the same energy vibes, can actually relate or have things in common. And you can actually only do that by just letting him talk, paying close attention to what he's saying. Once in a while, just throw in a few questions there on things that you want to know. When he asks you questions, answer, but don't be overly explanatory in your answers. Keep your answers very short. Don't reveal so many things. It's not a therapy session. It's not a session where you go pour all of your problems on the guy. Just keep your answers brief. Keep your answers short. Don't talk about your ex. Don't overly talk about your achievements. Just keep things very short, and then instead pay more attention to him. Pay more attention to what he's saying. Pay more attention to what he's not saying. Pay more attention to his body language, the signals he's getting, how he's treating the people waiting on both of you. Just pay attention to all of those things, because that will determine whether or not you guys can actually continue the relationship. Because the truth of the matter is that as much as he's the one who invited you out on the dates, it's more about you than it's about him. And you have to be very protective of yourself. So don't get overly carried away by whatever else. Pay attention to the things that actually truly matter. Okay? Thank you. The next etiquette tip on my list will be, don't overindulge in the alcohol. So if you decide to order an alcoholic drink, maybe a bottle of wine or champagne, don't overdo it, especially if you do not even know your level of your brain capacity and how much your brain can take alcohol. So don't overdo the alcohol, especially if you are lightheaded. Keep the alcohol minimal, or better still, just order some mocktails, okay? Or some fresh juice, or just plain water. Okay? Okay. The next etiquette tip would be, do not be on your phone when you are having an active conversation. In fact, don't even be on your phone at all throughout the duration of the date. It's very rude, and I think it's the most disrespectful thing that anyone can do, to be on their phone when they're just with someone and they're supposed to be having a good time or having quality conversations and all. So bringing out your phone and just being on it for long, you can actually, maybe when the food comes, because I do it sometimes, when the food comes, just so that I get inspiration, I take permission to just make a video or take a good picture of the food, and then I put my phone away back immediately, and then I will continue the conversation. That's the only scenario where you should actually bring out your phone. But apart from that, I think it's very rude and disrespectful for you to bring out your phone when you're supposed to be having an active conversation or quality conversation with your date. And then if they are the ones who are overly with their phone, I think it's just nice for you to tell them and just be very polite and say, I'm not going to compete with your phone. I'm not going to compete for attention with your phone. So it's either you're putting your phone away and you give me the attention, or I just go and then maybe we can reschedule this date later. Yes, you also have to own the right to your time. And then it's not okay that someone is overly on their phone when they're supposed to be having a conversation with you and everything just looks weird and you're just there trying to wonder what to do. Just reach out and just say it politely, please put your phone away and let's focus on the conversation. If not, I'm going to up and I'm going to leave. And make sure you keep to your word of upping and leaving if he doesn't listen to you. Okay? The next etiquette tip on my list would be, ladies, please go with extra money. This is what we call vex money in this part of the world. You definitely always want to ensure that you have some extra money in your purse because of unforeseen circumstances. So you can go on a date with a guy who's not a very gentle man and just has certain expectations of you that are not supposed to be. So for example, when you go on a date with a guy, you are not supposed to pay for whatever it is that you guys are eating at the restaurants, whether or not he's the one who invited you out or whether you're the one who invited him out. He is supposed to pay as a guy. I actually have a video where I talked about this extensively on who pays on a date. You can just click the link in the description box down below. I'm going to put that video there so you can watch and see my reasons why I believe that a guy should always pay on a date. But if peradventure you go on a date with a guy who doesn't have that mindset, you want to also save yourself the embarrassment by having some vex money in your purse. Don't go on a date empty-handed. Just keep it there. It's vex money, like in case something happens. So it can be in form of cash, it can be your card, it can be whatever. Just ensure that you have vex money with you. Okie dokie. The last etiquette tip on my list would definitely be on your table manners and your table etiquette. I actually have 2 videos on that on this channel where I extensively talked about some of the table manners that you must have. Remember, you're trying to create the very best first impression. So I'm not going to go into details on the table manners that you must have. Just click the link in the description box down below and also watch those videos. They come in very helpful. They teach you table manners like how to hold your cutlery, where to place your bag, your cell phone, where to place your sunglasses, like things that you must do to actually show that you are an elegant lady who's very valuable and who's very respectful as well. So ensure that you watch those videos after watching this so that you can feel more confident and more elegant whenever you are invited on a date for the very first time. Okay? Alright guys, those are all of the tips that I love to share on today's episode. I'll see you again with another delicious etiquette. Until then, remember to be very kind to one another. Love yourselves generously and take care, guys.